Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. So today I thought I'd sit down and kind of talk through my favorites in a different way. So I'm definitely going to do monthly favorites. That will probably be next week's video. I haven't looked at the calendar yet, but I do want to kind of talk you through all of the products that are the ones that I'm constantly talk about and recommending to other people. So I have them all next to me. There are a few I'm sure that I'm missing, but these are the ones that when I kind of went around the house and gathered them this morning, I kind of pulled from the fact of these are the ones that I feel like I'm suggesting to friends or kind of helping people integrate more into their life on a daily basis. And I feel like I have a good range of products here. I have makeup, we have books, I have supplements, I have hair stuff, and I have a few other things. So let's kind of talk through all of that and get into today's video. So I feel like the first thing I should say would be Zevia, which is what I'm drinking right now. I don't drink it an insane amount, and they actually just came out with a like a mixer version. So if you love like a Moscow Mule, but you don't want the refined sugar, the sugar from the ginger beer, Zevia has a ginger beer. So I don't have a can for that, but it's one of my faves. If you still like to have some kind of bubbly soda-y like thing every now and again, but you don't really want soda, Zevia, highly recommend. And I guess sticking with the drinks, my Hydro Flask. I have been traveling with this a lot lately. I feel like I went through a phase where I was really using my Yeti cups a bit more, but when I travel and I'm out and about, I keep the one with the lid when I'm on like out and about, because this particular one, I've dropped it a few times, but it's also really big. So it's too big for my car cup holders, so I kind of have to lay it around the car to make it work for me. So I love it. It's one of my favorite things to use, but I definitely and I definitely recommend it to other people. But if you want it to go with it everywhere, I get the smaller size. But it keeps everything really cold. It's great because it's basically, I mean, this size isn't difficult to clean. I tend to keep more of a chlorophyll water in this, so I use like the little chlorophyll droppers with it, but it's perfect for travel. I've taken it the last couple of times that I've flown and just gone in with the empty bottle and asked somebody to fill it up for me, and it's been perfect. So saves me money, keeps me hydrated, keeps everything cold, and I've definitely had a few friends who have used it lately or that I've recommended it to. So I figure we'll go through supplements and then books and then hair and makeup, because that's the order in which I live by things. So the first supplement that I'm always recommending to people, I swear this is like, if you were to ever ask me what to take, which I did a video on that during Everyday May, but I always tell you, take a probiotic. Just take a probiotic. I just did my video that you would have seen that went up a week before this, and I was talking about these guys, and I have them side by side. So this is the one that I'm currently taking because I thought, oh, I need a probiotic and I want to use Renew Life again. Okay guys, battery died. I think we might have changed angles a bit because I had to reset the camera. So we're talking about probiotics. I just filmed my empties. This guy was in my empties. This guy is the new Renew Life that I've gotten. I always recommend a probiotic to people, but I will say I did not read the label as well as I should have before I bought the new one. So this one that I originally had has 15 billion strains in it. This one is 50. This is 30 capsules. This is 14. I paid about the same for both. So probiotics, Renew Life is one of my absolute faves. There are definitely quite a few good probiotics you can take on the market. Just make sure you're reading the label and maybe talk to your doctor before you kind of jump on that. But I definitely always am recommending probiotics to people, because I just feel like people see a big change in their digestion when they start taking them. And along with that supplement line, the Natural Complex Calcium, I'm always recommending this guy. I use it when I travel, I use it when I can't sleep, when I have muscle aches, when I have anxiety. Magnesium is really great to help with that, but the powder is super easy to drink, the flavor is really great. I definitely feel like a lot of people benefit from it. Not everybody takes it, but if you're having that restlessness or you just need that like added sleep aid and you don't want to have to take, you know, all of the pills that maybe affect how you actually get rest, I would highly recommend checking that out. All right, so we have 3 books that I talk about quite a bit, and I actually haven't necessarily talked about this one as much, but I feel like in my mind I think about it quite a bit and I do recommend it. It's The 4 Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. I put this in a blog post a couple months ago that I'll link down below. But one of the things that I feel like I took from this book is a lot of how I take in information versus how I give out information. And that's really, if you look in the front of it, it tells you, it kind of gives you the how you meet outer expectations versus how you meet your inner expectations. So whether or not maybe you're more likely to do something because somebody else tells you, and how you deal with yourself. So maybe you are not good at being accountable to yourself, but you're way more better at being accountable to somebody else. So it's definitely interesting in general and how you're dealing with people. If you're in a position of power, it's great to kind of help you maybe understand your employees, maybe understand your family or your kids. I really enjoyed this book, and I think I still have a little bit left to read. So what I've read so far I loved, but I also think about this a lot in the way that I'll take in information. I started reading a new book this morning, and I know my type based on this. I believe I'm a questioner. So I like to ask a lot of questions before something happens, and I need certain things to be there, and I'm not just one to straight accept something. So I understand that about myself, so I try to think about that now when I'm taking in something, if I'm resisting it for the sake of resisting it, or if there's like a reason that I'm resisting it. But yeah, it's a good book. I'd recommend it highly. I do recommend it quite a bit. But if you're wanting to kind of understand people's mentality, I love the psychology behind how people think and why they do what they do. That's a good book to read. And then I have 2 cookbooks, which if you've been following me for a while, I feel like neither of these will be a surprise. I talk about them quite a bit. If you're really getting into healthy cooking, this is the first book that I picked up when I was kind of making all of those transitions. And It's All Good by Gwyneth Paltrow. Still one of my absolute faves. It's got a lot of my like go-to basic recipes in here. So if you eat meat, there's good roasted chicken stuff. There's some great salads with great dressings. It's very, I will say, it's very clean in the sense of the ingredients that are used are very minimal. You'll probably, I wouldn't say that you'd be able to pronounce all of them because some of them I'd never heard of until this cookbook. But it's a great way to make that transition, and it's a good resource. I've had this cookbook for 5 or 6 years now, and I still go back to it. This cookbook and the one I'm about to share are actually what I meal planned for from next week. But I always recommend this one. The recipes are really good, and if you have food sensitivities or there are certain things you're looking to cut out, or you're just kind of really looking to get that like close-knit base on what you're adding into your diet, what you're changing in your diet, just having that resource, always my first recommendation. And along with that, the First Mess cookbook. I've talked about this a bit. It's been a while since I've really delved into this one, and I've meal planned for it or from it for the next week. So I love this cookbook. Laura did a great job in writing this cookbook. I think not everything's gluten-free in here, but it's definitely got a lot of recipes that I just really love, and she's done an amazing job at, you know, not having tons of additives and crazy amounts of like alternative things. It's very a whole foods cookbook. So I've cooked quite a few recipes from it. I love quite a few recipes from it. She's a different take on things. So keep that in mind if you're kind of going in. Like her spaghetti bowl, spag bowl, has Kamada olives in it. So she has her own twist on everything, but I love all the recipes, and it's definitely something I go back to. So I'm excited to be cooking from it next week for all of our meals. Hair and then makeup. So I have 3 hair products. One that should be of no surprise to anybody. Beauty Protector Protect and Detangle. The only leave-in conditioner I've been using for the past like 6 years. I love this guy. I think that I have intentions to do a video on my most favorite affordable hair products, but as far as the conditioner and the heat protector, in my mind this is like a 2-in-1 deal for that, so I wouldn't have separate ones. If I can find something that does both, that's not the word I want, does both, I'll definitely let you know. But this guy is still, it's always my favorite. It does so well. One bottle will last me quite a while. I feel like I end up using it for about 6 months. So especially if you don't wash your hair every day, I wash mine every couple of days, and I use this, you know, as soon as I get out, and then I brush it with the next guy. But it's my favorite for a leave-in conditioner, and then if I let my hair air dry, then I know that I have that heat protector on my hair when I style it. I've said that a million times, but it always rings true, so I'm gonna say it again. And the other thing, sorry guys, there's still some hair on this from this morning. My wet brush. I love my wet brush. I've been using it for years. It's my favorite. I love that it doesn't like pull and yank. It's really good at just helping to brush through my hair, and I don't feel like I'm losing all of my hair in the process. So if you aren't using a wet brush, I definitely recommend that. These guys I haven't actually, you've seen them, I've mentioned them, but it's not one of those things where I feel like I constantly am in a place to recommend these to people, because I don't feel like people ask about this product a lot. But if you've been watching any of my vlogs, one of these is normally in my hair half the time. I use it to pull up my hair to wash my face, and then most of the time it ends up staying in my hair all day when I'm home. I'll forget that it's in my hair because it's so flat, it's the dry bar clips, that they just kind of chill out and hold everything up. But when we were doing all of our hair and makeup for Kendall's wedding, I could not pack these because everybody kept using them and loving them. So if you style your hair regularly, or if you just like to pull your hair back, I love the fact that I can pull my hair back and it doesn't mess it up. So like, these are 3-day-old curls that are in my hair, and every time I pulled it back with this. So I have plenty of the like clips, but I find that those leave that crease in my hair. These guys don't do that. I think you get, they're $15 for maybe 4 of them, if I believe I'm correct. But I would wait until you can snag a bit of a deal on them. I tend to get Ulta coupons every couple of months for 20% off, and I bought these when I bought the T3 curly one. So they are my favorites. They're one of those things that you don't realize that you need them until you get them, and then you'll be obsessed with them. More hair stuff. So I forgot that this was in here, along with kind of strength protecting. I've talked about the Kirsten S shampoo a lot, so I guess I could have brought that into this mix. I didn't think about it. That's a shampoo and conditioner I use all the time, but I feel like with my videos this month, I didn't want to be like, Kirsten S this, Kirsten S that, but then you would know that I love it. So shampoo and conditioner wise, I talk about that one all the time. They're like $10 to $14 per thing, and I love them. So let's just assume that I have those bottles here, and that's what I'm talking about, and then we'll move to the Olaplex. I love this mask. I've gone back to this mask recently, and I definitely recommend it to other people when they're looking for a hair mask, or if you're looking to kind of strengthen your hair or to get it fuller, thicker, longer, whatever the case is. The Olaplex one is one of my absolute favorites. I know that the Kardashians love it, and I feel like there are quite a few hair salons that use this very heavily, but it's one of my favorites. It does a great job, especially if you color your hair a lot. You really want to use kind of a mask in between colorings. I like to try to use a mask at least 1 or 2 times before my hair appointment, so that I do get the best strength on there before she puts color on it. And this is one of my favorites. I will say, you know, you have to put it on slightly damp hair, so it's not like a jump in the shower kind of thing, but it is still one of my favorite hair products that I go back to over and over again. 2 skin products. Now I know that my skin is very particular in the fact that I have hormonal acne. So I'm very aware of that, and I try to accommodate my skincare routine to that. But I also try to not push anything on anybody, because I know that everybody's financial situation is different. Everybody's skin is different. Everybody needs something different. However, these are 2 products that I don't think you would be surprised that I'm about to recommend. I use them. I love them. They're definitely, one of them I was thinking this morning that I really needed to use again. And the other one I haven't used as much lately because I'm using another form of it, but you'll see them, you'll know them, we'll talk through them. This will not be anything new. Pixi Glow Peel Pads. Are we surprised by this? If you were surprised by this, please let me know. I still love these guys. These are my fave. These are what I take when I travel. If I am if I have an ounce limit, I can just pop some of these into a bag, and they're great. They're affordable, they're easy to get a hold of, and if you're really just kind of starting to add that like acid into your routine, these are the winners for that. I'm always telling people that they should add acid into their routine. I feel like I'm like a Caroline Hirons advocate at this point in my life. But I love it. I've seen such a huge difference in what having like a gentle glycolic acid on my skin every couple of days can do. I'm a huge fan of it in what it does for me. But if you're looking to explore that, you're dealing with texture or maybe old scarring, or you just kind of feel like your skin is a bit dull, using this regularly has helped my skin so much. I'm currently using the Alpha H one, and I really love it, but I definitely feel like this is the one that I'm always telling people about because it's on the lower end of the price range, but it does the job. And then along with that is the Peter Thomas Roth Pumpkin Enzyme Mask. I haven't talked about this guy in a while, which I'm kind of surprised about, and it also has acids in it. This guy is on the floor now. It's great. It's definitely, I know that I've mentioned it before, it's a bit more expensive, so if you can snag it on sale, that's great. But the thing about this is one of those products that in my mind I think, you know, I pay however much up front with it, but then it only takes, like, it lasts me for forever. So this is also something you could probably go in with a friend on. If you both really wanted it, split it, pay 30 bucks each, and then you both have half a pot that lasts for several months. It's great. I don't use it constantly, but when I feel like my skin's dull or it just needs that oomph, I definitely reach for this. And I actually feel like this will probably happen again in the next few days. I try to keep to a basic routine and only add things as I need them. And since I've been using my acids regularly, I don't want to like overdo it with this guy, but it's just a fab product. It does so great for your skin. I cannot say enough wonderful things about it. I can't imagine it not in my collection. It's my favorite. I actually haven't talked about in a while, and I have a few products that I talk about all the time, but I'm not putting them here because they're one of those things that I love and I use them, but sometimes when there's a price point behind a product, I don't want to, like, I don't necessarily recommend it because I just think that's so expensive. And I never want to alienate that, like, or alienate a set of people by pushing really expensive products that not everybody wants to pay or afford or can afford. So some of the things that you'll probably expect to see from me, like my By Terry CC cream, which I use like every day, is not in this section, but these are also products that I have used and loved and kind of wanted to share with you guys as far as my top recommendations and things that I share with other people. So we'll kind of start at the bottom. Makula Dawn Patrol Classic Primer. Nobody is surprised about this. I love it. I share it all the time, especially because it does the great job of holding my makeup for an extended amount of time, and it has an SPF in it. I'm always telling people about this, along with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. That's another one that I always talk about. I don't have that, so I can't show you that. But I love this guy, especially if you're getting into green beauty. This was my first kind of foray into a new primer, and I'm so glad that I picked this one and it's worked so well. I'm kind of towards the bottom and I know I need to get a new one, but I know I'm going to rebuy this one, and I will continue to recommend it to people, especially because it has the SPF in it. That's really one of my favorite things about this, is it has SPF in it, so you're still getting that in your daily routine. And then on top of that, you would get my foundations. So I actually haven't used this guy in a little while. It's the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation, but it's still one of my absolute favorites. If you were to tell me that I needed to give you like a foundation recommendation, it would either be this guy or the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundations. These are my two foundation picks. I don't necessarily shop the drugstore all that often. I know they have some great ones, so I tend to shop online a bit more, and I try to snag deals on these guys, but they're a little bit different. This is a bit not as dewy as this one, I guess would be the best way to say this, but I love them both equally. They are my favorites. They're such good foundations, and they're the ones that I definitely recommend on the regular to everybody. Along with my concealer choices, my two NARS creamy soft matte creamy complexion concealer, or soft matte complete concealer, these guys, and then the radiant one, I wear that one as well. I go through phases of which ones I use of this NYX. Right now I'm using this combo. I have a lighter one and a darker one, the lighter one for under my eyes, but I still love my Tarte Shape Tape. It's just so great for that under eye coverage. It really does a good job at getting everything under there brightened and really concealing everything. And these guys, a little bit goes a long way, and they last for flipping forever. I mean, I put a dent in this one, but this is my all over face one, and I've used that more than my lighter one, which I've recently started incorporating, but they just wear so well. I don't like to, when I wear a heavier makeup, I don't necessarily want it to look like I have a heavier amount of makeup on, and those guys blend out really well, but they still give a really full coverage. So I can use them on days when I want to wear tinted moisturizer and still be concealed, or I can use them on days like today where my head makeup's a little bit thicker because I'm going to be on camera, I'm shooting photos, I need it to last and wear really well. I surprisingly didn't grab a mascara. I think that's because I'm constantly changing them. I probably should have grabbed my L'Oreal Telescopic because I do love that one. It's a great lengthening one, but I find that I have to put that over a volumizing one for my lashes to really get the look that I want them to have. So it's definitely one I would recommend. I guess I just haven't talked about it enough to feel like I need to tell you guys in this video, but I still did. But I do have two eye palettes. These guys have been new discoveries this year and have gotten used quite regularly. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, know and love it. Have used it for quite a few events lately. It has so many great colors, super wearable, just blends out like a dream. If you're gonna invest in a nicer palette for yourself, this is the one that I'm always gonna recommend. And along with that, I fell in love with this guy earlier this year. You've heard me talking about it a ton, and it's the NARS Wanted palette, the Narcissist Wanted palette, which I cannot open right now. But again, it's kind of similar in the same regard to what I just showed you, but it blends a little bit differently. I think the Anastasia one blends out better, and I think it's actually more affordable than this guy. But I do really love this. It has more of the brownie tones that I want. I use both to create my eye look today, but it is one of the best palettes. These are two of my faves, and if you ask me about investing in a palette, those are the ones that I'm going to tell you. And then last but not least, because I use this guy, I tried switching away from it, and then I came back within like 4 days. Urban Decay All Nighter. It's my go-to for setting my face. At some point I'll probably switch to something else, or I'll hopefully try something more in the cleaner, greener beauty side of life, but it does such a good job. Like I can't not recommend it. It's my tried and true makeup setting spray. It does everything I need it to do. It helps my makeup stay for a really long time. It's super light. It doesn't move anything. It just goes on really well. I could keep going, but I don't even know anymore. It's just my fave. So if you're looking for a setting spray and for some reason you haven't tried this, grab the All Nighter. Actually, grab the All Nighter in the 2-pack from Ulta because it's a better deal. And yeah, I think that's all I have. I know there's quite a rambling bit of things in front of me, and I'm sure that I missed some. I'll kind of add these up, maybe keep a list to the side and do another video on all of these in a couple of months and touch base on any new products I'm loving and I feel like I need to recommend. But for now, these are the ones that I find myself recommending pretty regularly, that I love, I use all of the time, and that somehow in some way is probably going to be the first thing that I'm going to tell you if you ask me about a foundation, a supplement, a cookbook, just any of my go-to faves that I'm always talking about. So yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It shows my channel lots of love and support. And if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you click that button. I'm currently uploading new videos every Sunday at 5 p.m. and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Wednesdays are going to be vlogs. It's going to be a weekly vlog. I'm going to keep that going as things flow. My goal is to vlog the things that are actually exciting in the week, because otherwise it's literally today I'm filming, today I'm writing, today I'm taking photos. So as it's available and as I'm doing things that are exciting, those will be the weekly vlogs for you guys. I definitely have Pack Up and Go planned at the end of July, so I'm super excited about that. I think there'll probably be more than one vlog there. So make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter for that, because once we get info, you guys can come play the guessing game with us until we find out where the heck we're going. And yeah, I'm so glad that you guys are here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I love you. You matter to me. I will see you next week.